Greetings, everybody. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and welcome to another episode of my horror debate series that I am collaborating with my good buddy Carlin. We are debating a wide array of topics, and just like always, after you watch this video, please go to his channel, link in the description below. Watch his video, and then go to the community tab on his page, and when you guys vote for who you thought had the better argument. Was it me or him? And there is a tie option if you felt we both did a really good job. Also, whatever the topic is, we'd love to hear what your stance is in the comments down below. We have a lot of fun reading those. Well, for this week's debate, we are going to discuss what is the best horror franchise. I don't have to think too hard on this one. I have him in every single one of my videos. Chucky. So for me, Child's Play is the best horror franchise. I don't feel there's a bad movie in the bunch. And now, no, I'm not going to count the Child's Play remake since that wasn't Chucky in the movie. It was Buddy. And the Child's Play franchise is Chucky. It's like if they remade Friday the 13th and called him Antoine Voorhees. It wouldn't be a Friday the 13th movie because it's just not connected in any way. But I can enjoy any film in the library, and I don't feel that's easy to say for some of the other big horror franchises because there are some stinkers out there. In the Halloween franchise, you have Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 5, and Halloween Ends. Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 isn't that good. Freddy's Dead is just horrible. Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan is no fun. Jason Goes to Hell, I've had a little bit more appreciation, but it's really not that great of a movie. Freddy vs. Jason, at least until you get the last 20 minutes, and then the remake wasn't that great. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface was trash. Texas Chainsaw 3D was trash. And the latest one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 22, was also trash. But I don't feel that's the way it is with Child's Play. The Child's Play filmography is probably the most coherent out of all of the big players out there. It has a pretty solid continuity. Each movie follows up with its very well with its predecessor. In the book Timelines of Terror by Josh Spiegel, he states that the Chucky movies not only hold up as being more consistently entertaining, but also having a stronger sense of continuity. Now, continuity in horror is not really easy to keep consistent, especially when each movie is written by somebody different. Well, with the Child's Play, each movie was the child of Don Mancini, and that's extremely rare in horror. And I can't think of another franchise where you had the same writer for more than 3 movies. The Child's Play franchise is also special because it was able to bring characters in from all the movies and make a successful TV show, which is just outstanding. Most other attempts to make a TV show based off of a horror franchise haven't fared too well. Not one, I believe, even coming close to the quality of the Chucky TV show. The only other one I could think of is The Evil Dead with Ash versus The Evil Dead, which I believe is the horror franchise that my opponent is saying is the best horror franchise, which is a solid pick. Both franchises have very loyal fans, both feature human very well, both have great kills and tons of gore. However, I feel like the best horror franchise really is Child's Play. It's more recognizable than Evil Dead. If you ask 100 random people who's Chucky, you may get 75 to 80% of people who know that he's the killer doll. If you ask those same people who's Ash, you're going to get a much bigger scope of answers. Same if you showed 100 random people a picture of Chucky and a picture of Ash, I would bet that most people would recognize Chucky over Ash. Again, I'm not saying that Evil Dead is bad. It's amazing. I just like Child's Play more. I feel like Child's Play has the best overall quality, with each movie giving the viewer something different across its franchise. With Evil Dead, you have Army of Darkness, which is very different from Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 are really similar, but you have the Evil Dead remake and Evil Dead Rise that are similar in ways, but they only change the location. But all the basic plots of those movies, with the exception of Army of Darkness, are pretty similar. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things from some of the Child's Play movies. There's more, but this video would be an hour long for sure. The original Child's Play. The reveal of Chucky coming to life in Karen's arms is one of the most iconic moments in the horror landscape.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Then you get the ending with burnt Chucky slowly walking down the hall. I'm sure that gave a lot of people nightmares. And you get the performance of Alex Vincent as a kid. It was a great way to start a franchise. In Child's Play 2, I think it's a near perfect sequel. It continued the story very well. The way the plot followed made a lot of sense. Andy's mom and Detective Norvis were in a mental institution because of based on what they saw. Andy was just a kid, so he would have gone directly into foster care. And I love the way that Kyle immediately became a big sister to Andy. That was kind of a touching thing for me. Chucky's look, if you notice, he gets more and more human-like as the film progresses, because eventually it's going to be too late for him to transfer the soul into Andy. It's got a great opening of the film with the reassembling the Chucky, and the ending is just a ton of fun, and the toy factory, the way Chucky is eventually destroyed for this film. It's a perfect stage for a sequel. Bride of Chucky, one of my favorite films in the franchise. I love how it connected to other films in the horror landscape. You have The Shapes Mask, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, even one of the best Universal horror movies ever made, Bride of Frankenstein, is represented because we got the Bride of Chucky. So this is a movie made by a fan of horror. And it's not often in a horror franchise that you can introduce a new main character in the fourth movie and have them be universally accepted and loved right away. Tiffany Valentine was the perfect match for Charles Lee Ray, and to introduce her in the fourth movie and to have her be so loved and adored by fans, it really says something special about the Child's Play franchise. You have Curse of Chucky. I remember watching this movie for the first time. I thought it was kind of a reboot of sorts because it wasn't in theaters. I think it was on the Sci-Fi Channel or something. And I was okay with it. I really wanted to see Stitch Chucky since that's my favorite version of the killer doll. So when Fiona's sister finds a doll and she starts to peel back the face and we get the reveal of Stitch Chucky, I cheered out loud with excitement because, and I think that was the intended response, to get that feeling from fans like, oh my god, it really is wonderful, it's Stitch Chucky. And then you see how the story progresses and you realize, oh, this is connected to all the other films, especially with the ending credits and everything. It's just wonderful how it can connect all the other movies in the franchise. And then you get the introduction of Fiona Dorff, which is just wonderful. I think her performance over the two films that she was in the TV show is just intoxicating. I fall in love with her when she's on the screen because I just love the way, that she portrays Nika Pierce, because it's such a fun character. Her relationship to Chucky and the fact that obviously it is Brad Dourif's daughter. It's something special. And I believe this movie was a great way to breathe new light into a franchise. Cult of Chucky, another one that I really loved. I love the stark contrast with the white and the red blood in the asylum. Fiona Dorff, again, is just intoxicating in this film. I love her performance. I got to keep talking about her. And she did the entire thing in a wheelchair, which I assume would be challenging as an actor to perform your whole role. I got to give her credit for that. I love the characters in the group meetings. They're all fun. They all have their own little, mental illnesses per se. And it's just a fun movie. And again, you get more evil Chucky. And it starts weaving that tale, bringing all the movies together again with Andy's back fully in it. We get Tiffany Valentine. You find out what happened to the young daughter in Curse of Chucky. It's just weaving this perfect web of a franchise together that's very coherent. I feel like Child's Play has some of the best overall special effects across a franchise. He looks real. It's not an actor in prosthetics and makeup. It was creating a doll with the use of puppeteering that made Chucky come alive. You watch these movies and you forget that he's really only a puppet. With the combination of Brad Dourif's voice acting and the special effects and the puppeteering will make you believe Chucky is alive, which is why I always have to check to see if he's moving around. I gotta check the video to see if he moved. Moving on. Another thing that I feel that sets Child's Play apart from the Evil Dead is how the story evolves. Evil Dead movies basically revolve around somebody finding the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead. They read from it in sub manner, and they release deadites that they now have to deal with. But with Child's Play, Chucky, his motives evolve over the course of all of his movies. He started wanting to put his soul into a child. In part 2, he wanted revenge and he wanted to finish the job. He tries again in part 3, but then over the course of the films, he gets tired of trying to put his soul into another person. Eventually, he embraces being the killer doll.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it!
I also really enjoy the lore of the Child's Play franchise. Chucky, he originally was killing people to find a body to put his soul in. He gets married. He has a kid. He kills for love. He kills for fun. He kills for revenge, and he's laughing maniacally the entire time that he's doing it. See? In Evil Dead, you have one half of a remake with the Evil Dead 2. You have a full remake with no mention of Ash ever, except for a stinger at the end, which wasn't connected in any way. Army of Darkness is more of a comedy, and then we have a sequel to the remake. Now, there's not a lot of lore, I believe, with the Evil Dead. You know, you have two movies that don't even have Ash in it, and you have to admit, you're not going to have a Child's Play movie without Chucky, which is why the remake doesn't count in my book. But don't get me wrong, I do love the Evil Dead franchise. Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that original trilogy. Remake is okay. Evil Dead Rise was a little bit better than the remake, but it's that original trilogy that I think most people love and adore when you're talking about the Evil Dead franchise. But you know what's so cool about the horror genre? It's open to everybody. There's a subgenre for everyone. We all love and hate different things with horror. I could talk about all the Child's Play movies, any TV show, and say why I adore them so much, but this video would well be over an hour. Win, lose, or draw, I'm just happy that I get to talk about my favorite franchise in horror. I love Child's Play very much. It's important to me. Like I said, I've got Chucky with me in every single one of my videos. I smile every time I see him. Some of my friends even called me the Chucky guy. It's cool to have so much love for a horror franchise. And I feel like the Child's Play franchise is the best horror franchise for me. But, you know, being honest, the best horror franchise is probably the one that you believe is the best horror franchise. There is no wrong answer. I just wanted to share why I think, for me, I should say, Child's Play is the best horror franchise. It's the one I have the most love, affection, and just admiration for, and I have a lot of fun watching all of those movies because I love Chucky and I do love Child's Play. Thanks for watching. Now, please go to Carl's channel, link below, and watch his video on the same subject. Go to the community tab on his page and vote for who you thought had the better argument. Was it Carlin? Was it Uncle Pete, me? Or was it a tie? Please watch and vote, and please put in the comments down below what you think the best horror franchise is. I love to read those comments and just talk horror with fellow horror fans. It's a lot of fun. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please. It would do me a big favor. I'm trying to get I don't have 400 subscribers by the time this comes out, but I really would like to hit that goal soon. I really appreciate it. So if you haven't already, please hit that button. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves, each other, and be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. But you know what's so cool about the horror genre? It's open to everybody. There's a subgenre for everyone. We all love and hate different things with horror. I could talk about all the Child's Play movies, any TV show, and say why I adore them so much, but this video would well be over an hour. Win, lose, or draw, I'm just happy that I get to talk about my favorite franchise in horror. I love Child's Play very much. It's important to me. Like I said, I've got Chucky with me in every single one of my videos. I smile every time I see him. Some of my friends even called me the Chucky guy. It's cool to have so much love for a horror franchise. And I feel like the Child's Play franchise is the best horror franchise for me. But, you know, being honest, the best horror franchise is probably the one that you believe is the best horror franchise. There is no wrong answer. I just wanted to share why I think, for me, I should say, Child's Play is the best horror franchise. It's the one I have the most love, affection, and just admiration for, and I have a lot of fun watching all of those movies because I love Chucky and I do love Child's Play. Thanks for watching. Now, please go to Carl's channel, link below, and watch his video on the same subject. Go to the community tab on his page and vote for who you thought had the better argument. Was it Carlin? Was it Uncle Pete, me? Or was it a tie? Please watch and vote, and please put in the comments down below what you think the best horror franchise is. I love to read those comments and just talk horror with fellow horror fans. It's a lot of fun. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please. It would do me a big favor. I'm trying to get I don't have 400 subscribers by the time this comes out, but I really would like to hit that goal soon. I really appreciate it. So if you haven't already, please hit that button. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves, each other, and be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. And remember, with great kills, there must always come great nows.